Okay, so picture this. It's one of those late afternoons in Mansfield, Texas. You know the kind of day I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. The air gets real thick.
Exactly. The humidity's been building all day. The sky starts turning that bruised purple color. The wind picks up.
And you can feel the pressure drop.
Right. And then you hear it, the rumble. A real Texas storm is rolling in. And then crack, a huge lightning strike.
Yeah.
Way too close. The house goes dark for a second, lights flicker, maybe they buzz a little and then they come back on. You let out a breath. But then you get that feeling.
Like a sinking feeling.
That sick feeling in your stomach. You look over at your desk at your entertainment center and you're just thinking, did my expensive electronics just get fried?
It is the absolute worst feeling for a homeowner. And the thing is, it's not paranoia. It's a harsh financial reality.
Right.
When we looked at the numbers from the local experts for today's dive, the stakes are they're incredibly high. The average homeowner in a place like Mansfield, they might be spending between $2,500 and $4,000.
What?
Every single year, just replacing electronics damaged by power surges.
$4,000 a year. That completely stopped me in my tracks when I read it. That's not pocket change.
No, it's a huge expense, and that's really why today's deep dive is so critical. We aren't just talking about, plugging stuff into the wall.
Right.
We're exploring what our sources call the silent conductor of your home, the electrical system. It runs everything, but because it's behind the drywall, we ignore it.
Until we smell smoke.
Exactly. Until there's smoke.
So our mission today is to pull back that drywall, metaphorically.
Yeah.
We're going to look at the hidden dangers of these power surges. We'll examine the brain of the home, the electrical panel, and even talk about how lighting affects your security.
And we're grounding all of this, and yeah, pun intended, in insights from local experts. We're looking at material from AT Electric LLC, specifically from folks like John Constantine and other Mansfield electricians.
So these are people who know the local weather, the local architecture.
They know exactly what those North Texas homes are up against.
Okay, let's start with that lightning strike. That's the big, dramatic moment everyone thinks of. But the research surprised me. Lightning isn't even the main villain here.
It's the biggest misconception out there. Everyone thinks surge equals storm.
Yeah.
And lightning is the catastrophic event for sure. It's loud, it's visible, it's what makes the news. But the reality is that power surges are a, quote, daily concern. They happen constantly, silently.
So if it's not a storm, what's causing them?
Well, a huge number of them are internal. They're coming from inside the house.
From my own appliances?
Yep. Think about your big stuff, your fridge, your AC unit, especially in Texas. Every single time one of those big motors cycles on or off, it creates a little voltage spike on your home's wiring.
Okay, can we get a little technical? Why does my AC turning off cause a surge?
Sure. It's something called an inductive load. So when a big motor like a compressor is running, it builds up a magnetic field in its coils. When the power gets cut, that field collapses instantly.
And all that energy has to go somewhere.
It has to go somewhere. And it induces a brief, high-voltage spike right back into your wiring. It's like squeezing a water balloon and then letting go. The water just shoots back out.
So just by keeping my house cool, I'm slowly killing my laptop.
In a way, yes. It's not usually one big hit. The experts call it death by 1,000 cuts. These mini surges degrade the microchips over time, and that shortens the lifespan of everything.
And then there are the external causes that aren't storms.
Right. Grid fluctuations, a construction crew down the street accidentally digging up a line. Even just old damaged wiring in your own walls can cause problems.
I want to circle back to the money,
Yeah.
because the breakdown in the sources was it was eye-opening. We all worry about our smart TVs, right?
Yeah.
And they put those between $500 and $2,000.
Yep, and they're super sensitive, high risk. Then you have your home office computer. That's another, $800 to $1,500?
But the one that really gets you, the one they called medium risk, but with a massive cost,
The HVAC system.
losing your AC in a Mansfield summer that's a survival issue.
It absolutely is. You're looking at $3,000 to $8,000 for a repair or a replacement on that. The control boards in modern units are basically computers sitting outside in the heat.
And you can't forget gaming systems. That's another $300 to $600.
It adds up so fast, and it's almost never just one thing that goes.
There was an anecdote in the source material that really drove it home. A homeowner, one afternoon storm, and in a single event, they lost their home office computer, a smart TV, and the control board for their refrigerator.
That's the trifecta: your work, your entertainment, and your food storage. Gone.
The total loss was over $3,000, just Poof.
So that leads to the solution. You can't just unplug everything.
Right.
The sources talk about a layered approach.
Sounds strategic. So what is that?
It means you can't rely on just one thing. Layer 1 is your whole home protection. This is like a big shield around your entire house.
Bouncer at the front door.
Perfect analogy. It gets installed right at your electrical panel, and its job is to stop those huge external surges from lightning or the grid before they ever get inside. It shunts all that excess voltage safely to the ground.
Okay, but what about the AC unit, the surge that starts inside the house? The bouncer can't stop that, right?
Spot on. The call is coming from inside the house, so that's where layer 2 comes in, point of use protection.
These are the individual surge protectors for, like, my entertainment center or my desk.
Exactly. But, and this is so important, you have to know the difference between a simple power strip and a real surge protector.
I feel like this is where most of us mess up. We go to the store, we buy a plastic strip with 6 outlets, because we need 6 outlets. We're protected, right?
Probably not. A basic power strip is often just an extension cord with more holes. It offers zero protection. A real surge protector has special circuitry inside.
Something called an MOV.
A metal oxide varistor. Yeah. Think of it like a pressure release valve.
Okay.
Under normal voltage, it does nothing. But when the voltage spikes, the MOV basically opens up and diverts all that extra electricity away from your expensive gear and sends it to the ground wire.
So if the box doesn't say surge protector and have a Joule rating, it's useless for protection.
It's just a glorified extension cord.
That is a vital tip. Now, the sources also mentioned a maintenance rule. Check every 3 months. What are we looking for?
You're looking for the little status lights. Most good ones have a green light that says protected. If that light is out, your protection is gone.
But the power still works. It'll still power my TV.
Yes, and that's the danger. It gives you a false sense of security. Surge protectors are designed to sacrifice themselves. They take a big hit or a bunch of small hits, and the MOV burns out to save your equipment.
They're the martyrs of the modern home.
They are. The rule of thumb is replace them every 3 to 5 years, or definitely after any major electrical event.
Got it. Okay, let's move from the outlets to the nerve center. The sources call the electrical panel the brain of the home.
It's a fitting analogy. Everything flows through it, and if it's overloaded or old, the whole system starts to fail.
So how would I know if my home's brain is on the fritz? The sources list some really visceral warning signs.
They do, and you shouldn't ignore them. First, are your breakers tripping all the time? That's the system screaming at you.
Okay.
Second, carefully touch the panel. Does it feel warm? It absolutely should not. Heat means resistance, and resistance is the enemy. Third, listen for buzzing.
Electricity is supposed to be silent.
It is. Buzzing usually means arcing electricity, jumping a loose connection. That sound is literally the sound of a potential fire.
And the scariest one for me was the burning smell.
Yeah, if you smell burning plastic or ozone near your panel, that's not a wait-and-see situation. That's a call a pro right now emergency. And finally, flickering lights, especially when a big appliance kicks on.
It means the panel is maxed out.
Totally maxed out.
Now, a lot of homes are hitting that 20-year-old mark. And the sources argue that upgrading an old panel isn't just about safety, it's a huge lifestyle upgrade.
Oh, it really is. I mean, we're trying to power smart homes, EVs, all this high-tech gear with a panel that was designed for a VCR. The modern panels are incredible. We're talking real-time power monitoring.
What does that mean for me as a homeowner?
It means an app on your phone that shows you exactly how much power your house is using, circuit by circuit. You can hunt down those vampire loads, the things sucking power even when they're off.
That sounds incredibly useful for just saving money on the bill.
It is, and it's safer. Modern panels have things like arc fault circuit interrupters or AFCIs that are way better at detecting those dangerous arcs we talked about. They can prevent a fire before it even has a chance to start.
And connecting this back to Mansfield weather.
Yeah.
The summer heat plays a huge role here.
Absolutely. That AC unit running 24/7 is a massive continuous load. It heats up wires and breakers. You have to have circuits that are properly sized to handle that strain without overheating.
And during storm season, they had some really practical advice, like trim your trees.
It sounds like landscaping, but it's electrical safety. A branch takes down your service line, and the best panel in the world is useless. And they said to document your electronics.
Right. Take pictures of the serial numbers before a storm.
Yeah, because trying to remember what model your TV was for the insurance claim after it's been fried is a total nightmare.
That's brilliant advice. Okay, let's shift to something more visible. We've done surges and panels. Let's talk lighting. I loved this phrase from the text. A Texas sunset is a countdown.
It's a great line, isn't it? It captures that urgency. When the sun goes down, your home transforms. And the argument here is that outdoor lighting is about command and control.
So it's not just about not tripping on the sprinkler head.
No, it's pure security. A dark house is a target. But the sources are really critical of the cheap DIY approach, specifically those solar stakes from a big box store.
Ugh, I know exactly what you mean. They give off that sad, faint little glow for about an hour and then they die.
Exactly. That's not security, it's decoration. A professional system gives you power and precision. You can illuminate the architecture, the pathways, uplight trees. It makes the property safer, and frankly, it looks a million times better.
And there's a commercial angle, too. The 5:30 p.m. sunset liability for businesses.
This is huge. In the winter, it gets dark early. If your business parking lot is dark or it's lit by those awful, flickering, buzzing orange lights, you're sending a message.
And that message is, we're closed, or this isn't a safe place to be.
You're actively losing money. The experts were very clear on that. Upgrading to crisp, reliable LED lighting isn't a luxury. It's an operational necessity.
Let's talk about the color of that light. I've been in places that feel like a hospital because the light is so blue and harsh.
That's the color temperature. For security, you want it crisp, but for curb appeal, you want a warmer light, maybe around 3000 Kelvin. It's welcoming. Those old orange sodium lights have terrible color rendering. You literally can't tell a red car from a blue car under them.
So it's about safety and aesthetics. Now, let's go inside. The trend the sources pointed to is minimalism.
Yeah, less is more. Getting rid of the visual clutter.
And a big part of that is replacing old, bulky chandeliers or track lighting with recessed can lights.
Right, it removes the visual noise, makes the ceilings feel higher, the room feel bigger. But, and this is a big but, there's a serious safety warning that comes with that.
The section on ceiling fans and chandeliers. They said it's not a weekend hobby.
And they are 100% right. This isn't just about connecting a black wire to a black wire. It's about structural support. The source uses the image of 10 pounds of crystal crashing down onto your dining room table.
That is a terrifying thought. But isn't the electrical box in the ceiling strong enough?
Not always. There's a huge difference between a standard junction box for a light fixture and a fan-rated box. A ceiling fan creates torque, it vibrates, it moves. A standard plastic box can crack and fail under that stress over time.
So if you just swap a light for a heavy fan without checking that box,
you are taking a huge gamble. You need a pro to go up there and make sure that electrical backbone can actually handle the load.
so don't just get up on a ladder with a screwdriver and a prayer.
Please don't. Gravity is unforgiving.
Okay, this brings us to the last big theme, inspection. We've been calling the electrical system the silent conductor.
And it is. It runs everything, but it's out of sight, out of mind. We'll spend a fortune on new countertops, but never think about the wires that power the new microwave.
So we need to be proactive instead of reactive. Waiting for the smoke? What's the recommended schedule?
The sweet spot seems to be a quarterly visual check from you, the homeowner, just looking at things, and an annual professional checkup.
What does a pro do in that checkup that I can't?
They're looking for the invisible problems. A good electrician will often use a thermal imaging camera to scan your panel. They can see if one breaker is running way hotter than the others, which points to a hidden fault. They check torque settings on the connections. They check your whole grounding system. It's a full physical for your house.
And if you're looking for that pro in the Mansfield area, the sources gave a kind of checklist.
They did. You want someone locally licensed, someone with specific surge protection experience, someone who offers warranties, and this was interesting, someone who understands the local landscape.
What does that mean? A house is a house, isn't it?
Not really. The electrical needs of a big house out near Walnut Creek are different from a new build by Joe Pool Lake. You've got different soil for grounding, different infrastructure ages.
Yeah.
You want a local who has seen it all in your specific zip code.
It all comes down to that local expertise. So let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. We went from the invisible threat of power surges.
The brain of the home, the panel.
And finally, to the visible impact of lighting and fixtures.
The big takeaway for me, though, is the financial one. The experts just kept repeating it. The cost of protection is always less than the cost of repair.
Always. It's not even close. You invest, say, a few $100s in a whole home surge protector, and you prevent a $3,000 HVAC repair bill. For a business, you invest in good lighting and prevent a lawsuit or losing customers.
It's an investment, not an expense.
Exactly. It is pure peace of mind.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought that really struck me from all this. You probably know the condition of your car's tires. You definitely know if your roof has a leak.
Mm-hmm. You see the water.
Right. But when was the last time you actually opened that little gray metal door on the electrical panel in your garage or your closet?
It's a great question. Most people are scared of it.
So ask yourself, is your home, with its smart fridge and its EV charger and its gaming PC, trying to run the technology of 2026 on a system that was designed for 1995?
If the answer is yes, you're running on borrowed time.
A sobering thought, but a really important one. Stay curious, stay safe, and maybe go take a look at that panel. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
Stay safe out there.